If I tell you about a place where the buildings are above water and you have to get around by boat, I'm pretty sure you'll think I'm talking about the beautiful Italian city of Venice. But as you may know, there are several other places in the world that have this same characteristic, but not always with the same charm and beauty, such as Makoko in Nigeria, an entire neighborhood built on the water and which has become the largest slum of its kind in the world. But that's just one of the curiosities about this incredible country, which has one of the greatest cultural diversities on the planet and some unique traditions. Today we're going to explore 20 facts that only exist in Nigeria, and that will leave you totally amazed. First destination, Lagos. Have you ever heard of this city's fetish market? This is one of the most curious and intriguing places in Nigeria. Forget modern shopping malls. Here, you'll find items ranging from animal bones to magic potions. Imagine walking through the market and coming across a veritable collection of mystical artifacts. There's everything: amulets, medicinal herbs, and even animal skulls. The sellers, who are also healers, explain how each item can bring luck, protection, or even cure diseases. And don't think it's just for Nigerians. Many tourists visit the market to learn more about these spiritual practices. It's a dive into the local culture that you can't miss. So, if you're in Lagos, include the fetish market in your itinerary and discover the secrets hidden there. Tell me in the comments, would you dare? Now, let's talk about a tradition that may seem quite strange to us. In Nigeria, some widows go through very strict rituals after the death of their husband. In certain Nigerian cultures, widows are obliged to undergo practices designed to purify them or ensure that they didn't cause their husband's death. These rituals can include social isolation, shaving the head, dressing in white or black for a specific period, and even drinking a mixture of bitter herbs. In some extreme cases, widows are forced to sleep next to their dead husband's body or drink the water used to wash the corpse. These practices are seen as ways of ensuring that the spirit of the deceased rests in peace and that the widow does not suffer supernatural reprisals. Although these traditions are increasingly criticized and less practiced, they are still a reality in some regions. Bizarre, isn't it? However, it shows how ancient traditions still have a strong impact in some parts of Nigeria. Let's continue our journey through Nigeria and explore more about Makoko. Can you imagine an entire neighborhood built on stilts, where the streets are actually water channels and the residents get around by boat? That's right, we're talking about Makoko, a unique place full of contrasts. Makoko is known as the Venice of Africa. But unlike the charming Italian city, Makoko faces enormous challenges. Located in Lagos, Nigeria's largest city, Makoko is the largest floating slum in the world. The houses are made of wood and bamboo, supported by wooden pillars driven into the lagoon bed. Most of Makoko's residents work as fishermen, using the surrounding waters to support their families. Children learn to row before they can walk, and daily life revolves around the water. Fishing is the main economic activity, but there are also small businesses and makeshift schools on stilts, demonstrating the community's entrepreneurial spirit. However, living in Makoko is not easy. The lack of basic infrastructure, such as sanitation and electricity, is a major problem. Water pollution is a constant concern, and living conditions are precarious. Even so, the Makoko community remains vibrant and full of life, with a rich culture and a strong social network. The Nigerian government has redevelopment plans for the area, but many residents fear losing their homes and livelihoods. The situation in Makoko is a reminder of the complexity and urban challenges faced in many parts of the developing world. If you're one of those people who live by whistling, in Nigeria, you'd better watch out. In some parts of the country, whistling at night is considered very dangerous. According to popular belief, Whistling after the sun goes down has the power to attract evil spirits and even snakes. So it's best to keep your mouth shut, lest you be accused of attracting supernatural entities. Continuing our conversation about snakes, in Nigeria there is a very specific superstition that forbids killing the eek snake, a local species of python. In many communities, this species is considered sacred, and killing one can bring bad luck or the wrath of the gods. The eek is believed to be a protective spirit, and encountering it is seen as a sign of blessing. People who come across this snake usually treat it with respect and return it to its natural habitat. This superstition shows the deep respect and spiritual connection that Nigerians have with nature. Ready to continue our journey through Nigeria? Then let's move on to our next curiosity. Now let's talk about Lagos, Nigeria's largest city and one of the most dynamic in all of Africa. Lagos is often called the African Big Apple, a comparison with New York, the famous Big Apple of the United States. Like New York, Lagos is a city that never sleeps, vibrant, full of energy, and a true economic and cultural center. With an estimated population of over 21 million people, Lagos is a veritable melting pot of cultures and ideas. It is the financial heart of Nigeria, home to major companies, banks, and a busy port that is one of the largest in West Africa. The city is constantly growing, with new skyscrapers appearing on the horizon and urban areas expanding. Lagos is known for its chaotic traffic, which can seem like a nightmare to visitors, but is a reflection of the incessant movement of the city. The streets are always full of cars, buses, and motorcycles, and new roads and bridges are constantly being built to try to ease the flow of traffic. The city is also famous for its beaches, such as Tarkwa Bay Beach and Elegushi Beach, which are popular meeting points for locals and tourists alike. In addition to the beaches, Lagos offers a variety of cultural attractions, including museums, art galleries, and theaters. The Lagos National Museum, for example, displays a rich collection of Nigerian artifacts that tell the story of the country. The nightlife in Lagos is one of the liveliest in Africa. With countless bars, clubs, and restaurants, the city offers options for all tastes. Live music is an important part of the nightlife scene, with local and international artists performing regularly. Lagos's markets are another must-see attraction. Markets such as Balogun and Lekki are known for their vibrant commercial activities, where you can find everything from clothes and electronics to spices and local handicrafts. The experience of visiting these markets is unique, with lively vendors and an atmosphere full of life. The city also has a strong gastronomic scene. Lagos offers a mix of traditional Nigerian cuisine and international dishes. Restaurants and food trucks serve delicious dishes that reflect the city's cultural diversity. In short, Lagos is a city that encapsulates the energy and diversity of Nigeria. Compared to New York for its constant activity and economic importance, Lagos is a must-see destination for anyone who wants to experience the vibrant essence of African urban life. Let's continue our journey through Nigeria, but without leaving Lagos. Now let's enter the world of dreams with Nollywood, Nigeria's thriving film industry. Nollywood is one of the largest film centers in the world, producing around 2,500 films a year. Nollywood films are known for their engaging stories that tackle themes such as culture, traditions, and social challenges. From family dramas and romances to thrillers and comedies, Nollywood captures the essence of Nigerian life. The story of Nollywood began in the 1990s, when Nigerian filmmakers started producing low-budget films with video cameras. These films quickly gained popularity, becoming a multi-million-dollar industry. Lagos, the heart of Nollywood, is home to many studios, production companies, and industry talent. A striking feature of Nollywood is the speed with which films are produced. often in as little as a week. This efficiency maintains a constant flow of new releases, always meeting fan demand. Nollywood is also gaining international recognition, with films screened at film festivals and available on streaming services such as Netflix. If you haven't seen a Nollywood movie yet, you're missing out on a vibrant and exciting part of Nigerian culture. Continuing our journey through Nigeria, let's explore a natural treasure, the Cross River Forest, home to the largest variety of butterflies in the world. Located in the southeast of the country, this tropical forest is a true paradise for nature lovers. With hundreds of different species, many of which are endemic, the Cross River Forest offers a spectacle of colors and shapes. Scientists and tourists from all over the world come to admire and study these incredible creatures. The diversity of butterflies in Nigeria is so impressive that the country is considered one of the best destinations for observing these insects. Butterflies play a crucial role in the ecosystem, helping with pollination and contributing to the region's biodiversity. So if you're passionate about nature, the Cross River Forest is a must-see on your visit to Nigeria. In many parts of the world, looking people in the eye is seen as a sign of trust and sincerity. In Nigeria, however, this practice has a very different meaning. In many parts of the country, it is considered disrespectful to look directly into the eyes of someone older or in a position of authority. In Nigerian culture, looking away is a sign of respect and humility. Keeping your eyes slightly lowered when talking to elders or authority figures shows deference and politeness. This practice may seem strange to those who are not used to it, especially in cultures where direct eye contact is valued. This tradition reflects the importance of hierarchy and respect in Nigerian society. Even with modernization and Western influence, many people still follow this practice, preserving an essential aspect of their cultural identity. What do you think of this? Leave your answer in the comments. This information about not looking directly into the eyes can be useful if you need to talk to a king, and in Nigeria this is more likely to happen as the country has hundreds of kings. Even without formal power, Nigerian kings, known as Obas, still play a crucial role in society. Nigeria is a land of kings and queens, with hundreds of monarchies spread across the country. Each of these monarchies has its own history, culture, and influence. Although Nigeria is a republic, these traditional leaders are still highly respected and play a significant role in local communities. The Obas and other traditional leaders are mediators of conflicts, guardians of traditions, and promoters of local development. They maintain the cultural and social fabric of their communities, holding ceremonies, festivals, and rituals that reinforce cultural identity. These leaders are often consulted on important issues, and their opinions are highly valued. A notable example is the Oba of Benin, whose royal lineage goes back hundreds of years. The Oba's Palace is a cultural and tourist center, attracting visitors interested in the region's rich history and traditions. Despite modernization and political changes, the influence of Nigeria's kings and queens remains strong. They symbolize continuity and stability, representing a vital connection to the past and a guide to the future. The existence of these traditional monarchies, alongside a modern government, creates an interesting and unique contrast that reflects the diversity and complexity of Nigerian society. Another remarkable aspect of Nigeria is its high fertility rate. With an average of around 5.3 children per woman, the country has one of the highest fertility rates in the world. This factor contributes significantly to the rapid population growth of Nigeria, which is the most populous country in Africa, with more than 200 million inhabitants. The high fertility rate is linked to various cultural, social, and economic factors. In many Nigerian communities, having many children is seen as a blessing and a way of ensuring support in old age. In addition, The lack of access to contraceptive methods and sex education in some regions contributes to the high number of births. Rapid population growth brings both challenges and opportunities for the country. On the one hand, there is increasing pressure on resources and infrastructure, such as education, health, and housing. On the other hand, Nigeria has a young population that can drive economic development if put to good use. Government initiatives and those of international organizations are focused on improving access to reproductive health services and education, in the hope of balancing population growth rates and promoting sustainable development. If you think high fertility is surprising enough, wait until you hear about the twin capital of the world. In Nigeria, especially in the city of Igbo-Ora, the birth of twins is so common that it seems like magic. In some Yoruba communities, there are up to 50 pairs of twins for every 1,000 births, one of the highest rates in the world. Researchers believe that several factors contribute to this, including genetics and a diet rich in yam, which is common in the region. This vegetable is rich in phytoestrogens, which can stimulate multiple ovulation. Twins are considered a special blessing in Nigerian culture. In Igbo-Ora, there is even a festival dedicated to celebrating these unique births, with parades, dances, and rituals that honor twins. This is just one of the curiosities that make Nigeria a unique and special country, but there are many others that you're sure to enjoy getting to know. Continuing our exploration of Nigeria's rich culture, we arrived at Kofar Mata, one of the country's best-kept secrets. Kofar Mata is known for being the oldest working dye house in the world. With over 500 years of operation, it is a true gem in the preservation of ancestral fabric dyeing techniques. Located in the northern Nigerian city of Kano, Kofar Mata is a historic market where local artisans use traditional dyeing methods that have been passed down from generation to generation. These methods involve the use of natural dyes extracted from plants, minerals, and even insects, resulting in fabrics with vibrant colors and intricate patterns. Kofar Mata's dyers are masters of their craft. They use a technique known as tie-dye to create complex patterns that are highly prized both locally and internationally. The dyeing process is meticulous and can take several days to complete, with each stage requiring exceptional skill and precision. The fabrics dyed in Kofar Mata are used to make a variety of products, including traditional clothing, accessories, and decorative pieces. These products are not only fashion items, but also cultural symbols that carry Nigeria's history and traditions. Visitors to the market can watch the dyeing process live, learning about the history and importance of this ancient art. Kofar Mata is a shining example of how Nigeria preserves its traditions while continuing to innovate and inspire the world. After exploring the ancient art of Kofar Mata, let's now talk about one of Nigeria's greatest culinary delights, jollof rice. This dish is a true icon of West African cuisine, and the Nigerian version is especially famous. Jollof rice is made with rice cooked in a savory sauce of tomatoes, peppers, and onions, often seasoned with spices such as pepper, garlic, and ginger. Meat, fish, or vegetables are added to enrich the dish, making it a complete and delicious meal. Competition for the best jollof is fierce between West African countries, especially between Nigeria and Ghana. Each nation claims that its recipe is the best, leading to the popular jollof wars on social media and at culinary festivals. Jollof rice is a staple at parties, weddings, and celebrations in Nigeria. Its popularity transcends borders, conquering palates all over the world. The dish is a symbol of unity and celebration, bringing people together around the table. If you have the opportunity to visit Nigeria, be sure to try authentic jollof rice. It's a culinary experience that reflects the richness and diversity of Nigerian cuisine. Leaving the kitchen and entering the field, let's talk about a national passion in Nigeria: soccer. This sport is more than a pastime. It's a real fever that unites the country from north to south. Soccer in Nigeria has a rich history, with the national team, known as the Super Eagles, winning important titles and gaining international recognition. Nigeria has won the African Cup of Nations 3 times and made history by winning the gold medal at the Atlanta Olympics in 1996, beating even Brazil, one of the strongest teams in the world. Nigerian players are acclaimed worldwide, with many of them shining at prestigious clubs in Europe. Names like J.J. Okocha, Nwankwo Kanu, and more recently Victor Osimhen are idols who inspire millions of young Nigerians to pursue their dreams in soccer. This passion is so great that it has even stopped a war. In the 1960s, while the country was engulfed in a civil war, which became known as the Biafra War, the two sides agreed to a 2-day truce so that everyone could watch a soccer match. But it wasn't just any game. Whoever managed to stop a war was the Brazilian team Santos Futebol Clube, which had none other than Pelé in its squad. Nigeria's economy is the largest in Africa, standing out as a vital force both on the continent and on the global stage. With a GDP of approximately $360 billion, Nigeria occupies a central position in the African economy. This economic growth is driven by several sectors, with oil being the most prominent. Nigeria is Africa's largest oil producer, with oil exports accounting for around 90% of the country's export revenues and more than 60% of government revenues. The oil-rich Niger Delta is the main production region, contributing significantly to the national economy. In addition to oil, Nigeria has vast reserves of natural gas, making it one of the largest producers in the world. However, the Nigerian economy is not limited to hydrocarbons. The agricultural sector also plays a crucial role, employing around 70% of the population. Nigeria is one of the world's largest producers of cocoa, palm oil, cassava, and groundnuts. Agriculture not only guarantees food security, but also diversifies the country's income. The services sector, especially telecommunications and technology, is growing rapidly. Lagos, the largest city, is an innovation and business hub, attracting foreign investment and fostering tech startups. E-commerce and digital financial services are booming, helping to modernize the economy and improve financial inclusion. On the other hand, Nigeria faces significant challenges. Despite its natural wealth, poverty is prevalent, with around 40% of the population living below the poverty line. Income inequality is high, and unemployment, especially among young people, is a serious problem. Infrastructure, including electricity, roads, and health services, is poor in many areas, hampering sustainable economic development. Corruption and poor governance are also obstacles that negatively affect economic growth. In addition, dependence on oil makes the economy vulnerable to fluctuations in global oil prices, affecting economic stability. In summary, Nigeria has a robust and diversified economy with significant potential for future growth. However, to realize this potential, the country needs to address and overcome its persistent socio-economic challenges. Nigeria is a country of incredible cultural richness, with a diversity of traditions, languages, and practices that reflect its multiple ethnicities. With over 250 ethnic groups, including the Hausa, Yoruba, and Igbos, Nigerian culture is vibrant and multifaceted. Each ethnic group contributes its own dances, music, festivals, and art forms, creating a dynamic and colorful society. Nigerian literature is recognized worldwide, with authors such as Chinua Achebe and Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie gaining international prominence. However, Nigeria's greatest literary pride is Wole Soyinka, the first African to win the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1996. Soyinka is celebrated for his plays, poetry, and essays that explore themes of oppression, freedom, and African identity. Nigerian music, especially Afrobeat, popularized by Fela Kuti, is another cultural gem, influencing musical genres around the world. Festivals such as the Osun Osogbo Festival and Durbar in Kano are examples of celebrations that showcase the country's cultural diversity. One of the most delicate and sensitive issues in Nigeria is the belief in child witches. In some communities, children are accused of witchcraft and blamed for misfortunes such as illness, death, or bad luck. These accusations are often made by religious leaders or family members, resulting in stigmatization, abandonment, and, in extreme cases, physical and psychological abuse. The origin of these beliefs is rooted in ancient superstitions and cultural practices. Some pastors and spiritual leaders exploit these beliefs to gain influence and resources, charging for exorcisms and purification rituals. Accused children are often isolated from their families and communities, living in conditions of extreme vulnerability. Non-governmental organizations and human rights activists are working hard to combat this practice. They provide shelter, education, and medical care for affected children, as well as raising awareness in communities about the harm of these beliefs and promoting alternatives based on understanding and psychological support. The Nigerian government is also taking steps to tackle the problem, implementing laws to protect children and punish those responsible for abuse. However, the complete eradication of these practices requires a continuous effort and collaboration between all parties involved. Addressing this issue with sensitivity and commitment is essential to ensuring a safe and healthy future for all children in Nigeria. Nigeria is one of the most culturally diverse countries in the world, with over 250 ethnic groups and around 500 languages spoken. This diversity is a reflection of the country's rich social tapestry, where each group contributes its own traditions, customs, and dialects. The three largest ethnic groups are the Hausa, Yoruba, and Igbos. The predominantly Muslim Hausa live mainly in the north and are known for their traditional music and trading skills. The Yoruba, located mainly in the southwest, have a culture rich in art, literature, and colorful festivals. The Igbos from the southeast are recognized for their community-based social structure and their historic economic resilience. In addition to the main ethnic groups, there are many others, each with their own language and unique cultural practices. The variety of languages ranges from Hausa, Yoruba, and Igbo to less widely spoken languages such as Tiv, Kanuri, and Efik. English is the official language, used in government and education, serving as a bridge between the various language groups. Nigeria's linguistic and ethnic diversity is celebrated in festivals and cultural events that highlight the music, dance, and cuisine of different regions. However, this diversity also presents challenges, such as the need to promote national unity and social cohesion in the midst of so many differences. The media, education, and government policies play a crucial role in promoting harmony between the various ethnic groups and preserving indigenous languages. Initiatives to teach local languages in schools and promote culture through the media are essential to keeping Nigeria's diverse heritage alive. The Niger River is the third largest river in Africa, stretching some 4,180 kilometers, passing through 5 countries before flowing into the Gulf of Guinea in Nigeria. This river is vital to the country's life and economy. It crosses Nigeria from west to south, playing a crucial role in transportation, agriculture, and water supply. The areas around the Niger River are rich in biodiversity and are home to many communities that depend on the river for their livelihoods. The Niger Delta, where the river meets the sea, is one of the most oil-rich regions in the world, contributing significantly to the Nigerian economy. In addition to its economic value, the River Niger also has great cultural and historical significance. It is mentioned in many legends and songs, and is a symbol of life and fertility for the Nigerian people. This brings us to the end of another journey through our bello mundo. If you want to continue traveling with us, subscribe to our channel and turn on the notifications. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you on our next adventure.